everyone, welcome back to Joanne Tech Lover. I'm Joanne, and today I'll be covering this Cooler Master Suppressor gaming keyboard. It's a keyboard for those who are more budget-minded because it gives you the functionality and look of a pricier gaming keyboard, I'd say. Here's a look at what comes in the box, the keyboard itself, which I'll go over in more detail in just a bit, but first let's take a look at some of the documentation and the cable. So first up, you get a quick user's guide. It doesn't tell you too much. Just what this keyboard is, the dimensions and all that. And then you also get some special key function guides telling you what the function keys do. And on this side, it'll teach you how to create macros on the fly, so be sure to follow those instructions. And last doc is an instructions guide on how to attach the wrist rest to the keyboard. It's currently attached, and I'm just going to show you in reverse how to unattach it. And last but not least is this cable. It's rubberized and it's mini USB to USB, and I love that it is detachable. I'm on the bottom of the keyboard right now, and there are 4 screws, 2 here and 2 here, that I need to remove and then take off the clips in order to remove the wrist rest. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Now that the screws are off, I can go ahead and lift this piece and remove this little insert here carefully. And there is another one on the other side, of course, so we're going to just go ahead and do that. And there it is. The wrist rest has been removed, and it's even got its own rubberized feet on the bottom, so it stays in place on a firm surface. Very cool. And here is the other side of the wrist rest. On the bottom of the keyboard, you get some more rubberized feet, as well as angled feet with rubber ends, so that it'll be sure to stay put on a smooth surface, such as your table. But I'm going to show you what the keyboard looks like with the height, and also flat on the table. On the top right edge of the keyboard is the mini USB power port. As for dimensions, this keyboard measures 489 millimeters or 19.1 inches by 189 millimeters or 7.4 inches by 34 millimeters or 1.3 inches. And it weighs in at 900 grams or 1.98 pounds, and the material is plastic. Mostly matte finish all around, but you do get a strip of gloss up here at the top. This is a standard QWERTY layout with full numpad, and you get 6K RO over USB, and it's a fully programmable keyboard. You can store up to 5 profiles with 15 macros per profile, which equals 75 macros total. Now let's take a look at some of the macro keys as well as the special function keys. So M1 to M5, these are your extra macro keys that you can set commands to, and then using function, oh, not this one, this is actually Windows, which is very odd. Not sure why it doesn't say Windows or have a Windows sign. But function on the right side and 1 to 5, these are your profiles 1 to 5. And function F1 is LED on off, function F2 and 3 is LED adjust, and function F4 to F6, these are your volume control keys, and then F7, this will enable or disable your Windows lock. On the right side of the keyboard, we have the dedicated media keys and nums lock, caps lock, and scroll lock LEDs, and I'm going to go ahead and plug in the mini USB into this port right here so that the keyboard can go ahead and light up. This is a membrane keyboard, and I know some of you are thinking, terrible, I like mechanical, but membranes do have the pros. Like, for example, they are cheaper to produce, I believe, and also they're more quiet, so for those of you who still prefer the silent variants. And you get this bump feeling because of this harder plastic stem you get beneath each keycap. The bump feeling are like the browns, but the bump is more pronounced, and it doesn't have that mushy feeling that a lot of membranes do, so this one is pretty cool. And now for a sound test. So single key and multi-key. Now for an LED demo of the keyboard. So it's all white LEDs, it's right function actually, and F1. So this is on its lowest setting. And then there are 2 other brightness levels, and this is the brightest. So making sure it is, there it is. Here's a look at the Cooler Master Suppressor software. Right now we are in the Profiles tab, and as you can see in the keyboard RAM, it can hold up to 5 profiles. On the PC RAM, you can undoubtedly add more. I already added one. And this keyboard comes with 128 kilobytes of onboard memory, as well as it's powered by a 32-bit rapid engine running at 72 megahertz. Now to change the name of a profile, simply double click, and let's call this Sup1 for Suppressor, and make sure to click apply, otherwise it will not keep the changes. Now to create a new profile under the PC RAM section, you will click new and then hit this and call it JTL Sup2, and then make sure you hit apply. Now if you click auto switch, you'll be able to link this profile to a program, and you can do that in the configurator section of this software. Now then, let's move on to Macro Studio. This is where you can create a macro. I've already created a few here, and you just click new, and then let's call this M4, enter, and then we will hit record. It is a chilly day, so hang on a second. Speed mode, you could change up the delays. You could also have 0 delays. They call it God mode, which is actually very funny. But we're just gonna keep it as is, so click OK, and then I'm gonna start typing chili, and then hit stop and save, and the macro has been saved into this section. It's very easy. There's even a list of other options you can include as well. Now let's head over to the Storm configurator, and this is where you can assign functions to different keys. So if you click the red and it doesn't stay red, that means you cannot assign that key. But if you click a key and it outline stays red, then you can go ahead and assign a function. For example, macro 1, click OK, and then let's make this macro 2, click OK, and let's do single key for this. And you have to click on the software to get it, because clicking on the keyboard for some reason doesn't work. So click OK for that, and then for the R, let's say you could do advance any of these functions, volume mute for example, and you'll notice that these are different colors. So you can go ahead and go to the color bar here and select the color that you want for the different functions, so you'll know, oh, orange is macro, blue is single key, etc. And then let's go ahead and close this out, and you'll see this counter because it is programming it. So once this is done, let's go ahead and hit the right function key and the 1 for the first profile, and your keyboard will flash to let you know it's working. Now then, let's pull up this notepad and press Q. Oh, look at that. Macros are a go. And notice in this right corner, if I hit R, it mutes it. Very, very awesome. So we're gonna go back to muting it. But for some strange reason, let's say I bring out the software again, and then I go to notepad, the QWE will just be QWE and then R, which is odd. But at least now you know how the macro works, and that's pretty much the most important thing. And then of course, if you made your profile auto switch, you can go ahead and configure the launch a program function. And one last thing is that you can right click this area here to select an image for your profile, which is pretty awesome. Well, that concludes this look at the Cooler Master Suppressor software. Here's a look at the pros and cons. So what I like about this keyboard, well, for the price, I believe it's around 46 bucks, the programmability function is a welcome addition, especially with 5 profiles and up to 75 macros. It's pretty awesome. And it's a plus that it's fully backlit and with white backlighting too, which is more visible than other colors, I'd say, especially red. And the dedicated media keys are a nice touch, but I would have liked to see volume over play pause. And I also like the detachable cable because it's easier to clean up and store away if I take it with me on the go. As for the cons, the keys are very faint if there's no LED on, so I have to have them on or use it in a brightly lit room. I also like that they included wrist rest, but it's a bit of a pain to install as it uses screws. I would have preferred a snap-on design. Software could use a bit of tweaking as setting macros to certain keys wasn't as fluid, and the Windows key has a function keycap on it, so I don't understand it. Well, that wraps it up for this video on the Cooler Master Suppressor gaming keyboard. If you like what you saw and you want to see more like it, be sure to hit the like, comment, and subscribe buttons, as well as follow me on social media. Joanne Tech Lover Facebook fan page, Joanne Tech Lover again on Twitter, and Joanne Tech Lover once more on Instagram. Also, please don't forget to hit the donate button so you can help expand this channel and feed this techie. Oh, and I started up a new channel called JTL Lifestyle where I talk about everyday random gadgets in your life, in my life, all the like. And one last thing is storeenvy.com, where you can go ahead and check out my 8.5 by 11 inch autograph prints. I guess all that's left to say is bye bye!